Okay, so let's go over everything else, few things, and then we quickly go into it. Thank you very much. If you're joining us today, or if you happen to see this video, we are in a live studio or live soap making class. Today we are doing soap making, cold process soap for the first time. But before we get into it, let's talk about some of the safeties with lye. I think we had done this last week. It's just for us to go over it again. Ask ourselves questions just because of the assessment that will be coming on very soon. Familiarize ourselves with it, and then we take it from there. What are some of the safeties we talked about last week with lye?
DPI. And it's most important how we mix water and soda caustic. Always soda caustic going to the water.
Great. Always add the caustic soda to the water and not the other way around. And you always have to have your goggles and your gloves and your mask, which I have all of those here. When we start, I'm going to use it. Somebody would ask, what if I put on glasses? What do you have to do? You have to wear it on top of it, because you can see that the goggles has more protection on the sides at the bottom, and not to frighten anybody, but if caustic soda gets in your eye and you don't use the preventive measures, I don't want to say touch wood, but it's very, very detrimental, and I don't want to go there. But I'd mentioned that if it happens to go into your eyes, what do we have to do?
Cold water for at least 15 minutes.
Cold water for at least 15 minutes. If it goes on your hand or on your skin, what do we do? Cold water for 15 minutes. And let's talk about the tools we have to use with caustic soda. Let's talk about what bowls or what containers should we use when we are mixing caustic soda.
Glass, steel and plastic.
Why?
Because the silver and other tin, they react with the caustic soda.
Yeah, you're right, because caustic soda reacts with aluminium and tin. So never use anything that has to do with tin or aluminium in working with caustic soda. Always use Pyrex if you can, or use plastics, or this other one. I think I had one here. This silicone. Or silicone, better use that. So I think basically we've talked about the safeties now. If you want us to give you a clear idea of it, please put a link below or let us know, and then we can send you some notes to it if you send us your WhatsApp number. And we are hoping to do a detailed video on it, what we have talked or discussed in the class in this video as well. So we had talked about that. We had also talked about some oils. Today we have a variety of oils in front of us here. I think with the caustic soda, I'd also mentioned that this particular one we are using today is not solely meant for soap. This is the one meant for drinks. That means that it is not pure caustic soda or sodium hydroxide. It has something else in it, but we can still use it for our soap. And I mentioned that if this soap is going to be used on commercial basis or for your personal use, make sure you are going for the pure caustic soda, which you can find from soap suppliers, and not for this one, which you got from the corner shop somewhere. So today we have a variety, I think 5 different types of oils that are beginner friendly oils. And the reason why I say this is, as a beginner, when you're starting your soap making journey for the first time, you're worried that you may not get the right kind of soap, but these oils are easier to use and manipulate. So what I have in front of me is shea butter, coconut oil, palm oil, olive oil, and vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is just something we have just added. So in this class today, we are working in groups of 2, and I'm going to allow the ladies to pick their own oil combination based on the properties you're going to be discussing very soon and quite briefly. I'd mentioned that if you're looking for hardness in soap, then we are looking at shea butter, palm oil, and coconut oil. The coconut oil and the palm oil gives you hardness. Shea butter gives you some hardness and some moisture as well as SARS. SARS is like lather. The olive oil gives you total moisture, but does not lather. So if you're looking at doing 100% olive oil soap, which is called a Castile soap, that is very much possible, but that means that you're going to end up with a softer soap, and you're also going to end up with a soap that does not lather, as well as your soap will have to be stored for a very long time. We are looking at 8 to 12 months before you can use it, if you want that kind of hardness. But then if you're looking for a soap that is very soft, in terms of not too harsh on the skin, good for the baby skin, or somebody with a very delicate skin who would obviously go for a Castile soap, and you're on that journey of producing just pure Castile soap, then you should know that your batch will have to go for 8 to 12 months, unless you introduce some form of hardness, and that is adding salt to your batch. That's another thing we can do, but then that means that it is not pure Castile soap, because you've introduced some form of hardness to it. But if you add shea butter or coconut oil or palm oil to your Castile soap, then it doesn't become Castile soap anymore. Now people are calling it Bastille soap. I don't know how that is, but because it's not pure olive oil, they've added some other things to it. But at least that gives it the hardness you're looking at. So I'm going to allow you to do your own recipes after I have done mine for you to see, and then we take it from there. But before that, let's talk about a few things that you may hear me mention that you may not be too conversant with. One of them is saponification. So when we talk about saponification, first let's talk about emulsifying, then to saponification and to trace, because those are the steps you see in your soap making process as you start. So emulsification is when the oils and the lye water come together. When they mix up, then emulsification has started. When we put agitation inside, you see that it changes. Then we are going into saponification. So it's the oils and the lye water is beginning to turn to soap, and that is where saponification comes in. So the chemical process that goes on to turn the oils into soap, that is saponification. Then we go to thin trace. Thin trace, you see it is like your pancake butter or your cake butter mixture. That is thin trace. We'll see all the levels of traces. All those traces are very necessary, and you can still make soap out of it based on what you're doing, and we'll experiment all of that today. Then let's talk about the superfat. So superfat usually is calculated for you by your Lao calculator. We'll talk about that. But superfat should range between 2% to 10%, not more. When you go more, your soap is going to become very oily, because superfat is the little amount of oil that was not turned into soap by your caustic soda. I hope I'm making sense. So the Lao calculator does that for you, but the Lao calculator will ask you what percentage of superfat are you looking for. As a beginner, I'll say stick with 5%. That's enough. So the little oil that the caustic soda did not turn into soap, that is left in your soap and gives you added moisture on your skin, that is your superfat. And you need it, because that bridges the gap between a harsh soap and a soap that is not soap at all. The moment you increase your superfat over 10%, you're going to have a lot of oils that was not turned to soap. So then your mixture is not soap. I hope I'm making sense. You did not get soap, but you need that little bit oil too for the moisture of the skin, and that is your superfat. Basically, that's it. You may also hear people call it lye discount. It's the same thing. Lye discount, superfat is the same thing. Then I think basically I've talked about all of that. I've summed it up. Trace, I've talked about trace. Then adding fragrance to your... At this point, as you start, I'll say that you would have to experiment with your fragrances. Some of the fragrances will increase trace. I think I mentioned that last week. Increased traces. You'll see that your butter is just at the right consistency for you. That is why I was saying, as beginners, today's project, we are going to do a mixture without fragrance, oil, and without color for the first pour. But after the first pour, we'll add fragrance oil, and then you see the changes that comes with it. If you've not experimented with some of the fragrances before, you'll see that some of the fragrances accelerate trace. So quickly, the thing will become very thick. So you cannot pour, but you can still use it as a soap, but you may have a different design. And that is where I'll say you'd use a mold, like a bigger bar, then you can make designs and then you can cut it. But if you can still do it with these ones, but you may not get a smooth finish like if you had poured it at a thin trace or medium trace. So basically that's it. You have to work with it, and then you know how to do it. Now, mixing your micas into your soap. The first thing is you have to mix your mica with some oil before you put it in the soap batch. So the ratio is 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of oil. 1 teaspoon of color to 1 tablespoon of oil. So would I say 2:1? So 1 teaspoon is to 2 teaspoons. That makes a tablespoon. I hope I'm making sense. Now let's talk about the temperature at which you'd have to add your lye to your oils. Now we have to know that when we're working, last week I had mentioned that you always mix your lye with distilled water. And the reason why you do that with distilled water is water from the taps may have impurities with it. Sometimes the water may go through some rusty pipes before it actually comes out. So then it's carrying out rust in the soap, in the water, which you may not see. But that can affect your soap in the end. So you may not see it, but you realize that after you've produced your soap, you've produced a bad soap. And how do you know that you've produced a bad soap? You'd have your soap, if your soap is plain, or even if it's colored, you can see that the soap has some, they call it orange. I'm going to get the name right. I think I've written it somewhere, but you see spots of orange in your soap. And that is unsightly. The soap is not affected, but is unsightly because if you're selling it, it will look like very old soap. And when you use old oils, like oils you've used to cook, to make soap, obviously you produce soap, but you produce an unsightly soap as well. So it's always good to, if you're going to be selling it, use fresh oils, like oils that have not been used to cook anything. Even though you can still use oils that you've cooked, but it's advisable to use fresh oils. I think I've mentioned everything. Now, I was talking about the temperature at which you add your lye to your oils. Now, always make sure that the difference between both is 5 degrees Celsius. I think I mentioned this before. So if your lye is 35 degrees Celsius, then your oil should be 40 degrees Celsius. So the difference should be 5 degrees Celsius, basically in that range. Then when you've done it, you can easily add that to that, and then you start.
But that means always the lye temperature is supposed to be lower than oils.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then when you're pouring, basically to reduce air bubbles as well, you always pour on the shaft of your blender, and I'll do that for you to see. So instead of just pouring it like that, I'll just pour it on the shaft of my blender, so then it gradually sends it down. And the reason why you do that is to eliminate air bubbles. You don't want too many air bubbles in your soap. It's unsightly. At least we saw that from the melt and pour process we did last week. And let me talk about soda ash. Now, as we do the soap and we pour it out in our mold, you will have to insulate your soap. So you have to wrap it, cover it. Let's say this is my soap, I've poured it. I'm going to cover it with a cling film. So we've got some cling film. You cover it with a cling film, and then you also wrap it with a towel or something to keep it covered and a bit not too warm. The reason is we don't want the soap to dry or harden up too quickly. So we are insulating it for it to do that gently. If you allow your soap to dry up too quickly, you will see some powdery substance come on top of your soap in the corners. The soap is still okay to use, but that is unsightly as well because the soap dried too quickly. So when you insulate your soap, it takes its time to dry up. So you give it a maximum of 3 days, 2 to 3 days. You can come and take that off and then unmold your soap and then leave it on a rack to dry. We cannot come in and be turning it, but every Tuesday when we come in, we will turn it on the other side. So like if we molded it and put it this way, next week when we come, we'll turn it the other way But if you're at home, every three to 4 days or 3 to 6 days, make sure you are turning it on all sides so that the soap is hardening up and drying up on all sides and not just sticking on one side to dry. Basically, I think that's another thing. If you happen to have soda ash on your soap, you can wash it, but that means that it's going to affect the appearance of your soap. You can also slightly cut that place or shave that place off. But if you insulate it well, you hardly have soda ash form on your soap. So I think that I've mentioned almost everything. As we do it, if something comes up, I'll talk about it. But basically, that is it. And yesterday, it was quite late though, but I sent a few notes to you. I don't know if you saw it. Did everybody see it? I think most of the things I've talked about on the WhatsApp page, I'd sent a few notes. I think I sent notes on melt and pour and most of the things I'd sent to you. I'll be sending more as and when, especially with the terms. I've not done a note on the terms yet. When I do the terms, I'll send the notes to you. Basically, we've covered almost everything in the cold process soap making, if I'm right. What we are going to be doing next are methods. So once you get to know how to do soap, the more you do soap, the better you become at it. Then the next step is how to get in your fragrances and your colors and your methods right. So basically the science of soap has been covered in this class. We are yet to do the practical one. But I think we've covered all the theory aspects, the science aspect of the soap. We are now yet to do the art bit of it. And that will be soap making is just a science and art. Basically, that's it. Now let's go to the Brambleberry soap calculator, Lyle calculator, and like I said, let's work in groups. So the two of you should decide the type of oils you want to use that we have on the table. The two of you two should decide, and I don't know if can you join her so that at least you have an idea of it. So then you and Sini work together and also decide on the type of oils you want to use. We will decide on the quantities very soon, but another thing I would like you to do is, as you're deciding, you write the properties that this soap would give you as part of it. So I want to get a pen and write down my own recipe. You don't have to use 3 oils. You can just use 2 oils. Or 3. So
So I was thinking maybe a mixture of olive oil, coconut,
okay, now hold it. Before we go on, I don't want us to do the same soup. Okay, so I because I'm hearing coconut olive share. It looks like everybody's doing coconut oil. So yeah. So if somebody picks up that recipe, we'll let them have it, and then somebody will do a different combination, and just so that we see different soaps, different textures, experiment it here, and then everybody knows. So we are not producing the same type of soap. Okay, so now let's decide. I'll come back to you and we'll see what everybody's recipe is. If it's the same, we'll switch it around a little bit, just so that we have different things.
Olive pounds. Olive pounds first. And coconut.
I've also got vegetable. Cindy, do we have sunflower oil? Please, let's check if we have sunflower oil.
I don't know how it calculates how many grams to put.
Let's work in ounces with weight or grams, whichever. I think let's see what this one has. The unit.
they have all ground.
Is this thing okay? No. Is your thing okay? Is your scale okay?
Your things are alright.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we have to do it first. We
Gram
use
they have.
Yeah. I know.
Let's use gram. Let's use gram.
Grams, okay. We use grams.
We use
And
grams.
it's we choose 5 grams, 5% super fat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the next step is to use oils.
Okay, now 1 minute. Let's see what everybody's recipe is. What oils are you working with first?
Olive, shea.
Two. Olive and shea.
Okay.
Okay, I had that. Yes, I'll change mine. And what oils do you have? Or if you're not ready, what oils do you have?
I want to add coconut, but if she agrees.
Yeah,
that's
okay, because they use shea, we use olive oil and coconut.
Okay, I'll put you as group 2. So olive.
And coconut.
You want to add another one?
Yeah, shea.
Shea.
There will be 3 then.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cindy, your group.
I'm not sure. Do you have any suggestions?
No. Just think about what we have here. I want to believe we have enough of this. It can be just 2 oils. You can do, if you do olive oil pumice, the only thing is it will take a very long time. You can do only coconut oil too. That will work because you get the hardness and you get the bubbles as well. Or you can do only shea butter, just 1 type. Or you can do 2 types. But they have shea and olive. So we can do shea and palm or shea and coconut. Or
Add olive, coconut, and palm oil because everyone hasn't picked the palm oil.
nobody speak palm oil.
Yes,
Okay.
we picked the
So what are you doing then?
olive oil, coconut oil, and palm oil.
Please remember your groups. Group 3. Okay.
Shea butter is here. But they want us to, how much grams we need to put?
Now at this point you have to decide. Don't go beyond. I even think that 8. If we're doing 8, that would be quite a big batch, isn't it? 8 grams, 8. So don't go.
Grams is
8 grams will be quite a lot. Let's stay within 7 grams. Let's not put any oil above 7 grams.
because it's
I don't want us to do a very big batch.
6, if we put 6 each.
6.
And it's in that case, it's better some of the oil be bigger quantity there than others.
Others, or you can have it the same quantities. So we already know the properties. So whichever property you want more, you increase the oils.
Mm-hmm.
You get
You
it?
want to moisture
Yeah.
or
I missed that we,
Cleanliness is not very.
how many
Okay,
grams
this for the
of the
cleanliness.
oil donate in
And shea
bigger
and
than
shea
how many
for the
grams?
bubbles.
You are in group
Yeah.
3.
For
Yes.
moisturizing.
If now let's look at the properties again. Olive oil is a soft soap. So we don't want, even though we want moisture in it, we don't want too much of it because already your coconut oil will still give you moisture anyway.
all of them
So
to
let
be the same
olive
amount.
oil be a good quantity but not high. Because we want hardness, palm oil will give you hardness, coconut oil too will give you hardness. We can put palm oil and coconut oil, let's say about 6, 5. I'm going from the bottom to top. So 6 for palm oil, 6 for coconut oil, 5 for. Or you can make coconut oil 7 grams, palm oil 6 grams, olive oil 5 grams. So it's up to you depending. So that will tell you what properties are coming more in there.
Okay, group 2 decide each butter to be the same amount. Means coconut to olive oil to shea to be 666.
Good. Okay, so you have your recipe now? Not yet.
Do the next.
So you know how to do it? Okay, do you have the Brambleberry Lao calculator? Have you done it? Have you gone there? So let's click on the Lao calculator, and when you scroll down, it will take you to type. So what type of soap are you producing? Solid soap. Solid. We take the solid, and we are measuring in grams. Then the superfat level, you just select 5 because I said that 5 is for beginners. So we go to next. This is where you select the oils you've picked. So you put all of that there.
And they say that is our batch will be 26 grams.
Together.
Together.
Mm.
Do you think that we need to increase or?
It will be
26 grams.
Is quite,
Too small.
yeah. I think that one probably it's around, if you measurement one of them, it's probably 150, probably that one, around 100 grams, more than.
Can we put water and measure it? At least it will give us a fair idea. So let's put, my scale is bad. I don't know which of the scales. We just changed the batteries, didn't we?
Yes.
But it's not
That
working.
yours is bigger, but that one is, I think.
Let's use only this
Yeah.
one and put water in, and let's measure it, and that will give us
To the top.
to the top.
Okay, to the top, that one is around 200.
Let's do it and see. So then we'll be able to, based on that, know that 2 of this will be enough for 2 people. You get it? Then we will use that to share it amongst the oils. And then we'll know the final weight of.
We choose only one share. We take the share 6%, then because both of them they give more share.
163
5, 6 is
grams.
1 minute.
163 grams.
163.
Or
So-
let's say 160.
160. So 2 of that will be 320.
Yeah.
Okay. But I wanted us also to have enough baht for layering. So let's do it 4 of that. So 160 times 4. I'm making sense. So everybody will make 2 soap each.
And it's means for one person or for 2
For
persons?
2 people, making 2 different types of soap. So 160 times 4, 0, 4, 6, 6, 4, 24, 2, 6, 640. What was your full weight of soap based on your calculation?
Full weight 26.21 grams.
Yeah, that means that we need
With the
to-
lye, with the water, everything.
Yeah, but we increase now.
How we increase?
Just to double.
Resize the batch?
Yeah.
160.
So let's triple your quantity. So if your olive oil, you are taking 8 grams, let's take that now to 2, 8, 16, 3. So let's take that to 16 grams. 16 grams for your oil. You are just doing 2 oils.
Yeah.
So make 20 grams and the other one 16 grams, whichever one.
Yeah,
And let's
you-
see what
you
your
can
full
go
weight
to
of
the
oil will
sense.
be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
20 and 60.
Yeah. So decide which one you're going for 20, which one is going for 60, because you're only using 2 oils. And let's see what your total weight will be. That will give us the quantity of soap
Yeah.
we'll make. You get it? Am I
Yeah.
making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much we need all total?
You need in total 640, roughly 640, between the 2 of you.
400.
Let's to make a little bit mathematic. If it's before that it was 26 grams. To do it, 640.
If we do the oil weight in 400, it will give us 58.2.
Yeah, but it's how it's.
Yeah. 33.33 grams. We can round it, like when we do 134.
That one is how much is and that one is supposed to be more.
134, we do the 134.
So then we get this.
135. 135.
So we do it again. It's not. all one.
Okay, to the down.
Is there coconut oil here? I can't
Yes.
see it.
Both virgin and both virgin.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Next. What is your total batch?
84.
84. 84.
Yeah, 84.
If we put 3 oils and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
135
We found it for us with 3 oils. It's supposed to be each oil to be 160 47.
47.
So each oil should be,
147.
because they are using the same quantities of oil.
Yeah.
So each oil 147 grams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that one is only for the oils. And when you added the lye and liquid,
Water.
it's supposed to be together 641 grams
Great.
approximately.
So they got it. They've got their recipe now.
Yes.
Does it make sense, everybody?
Okay, so
I'm not doing too much. So my total grams will be around 77.33 grams. That's enough for me. So what I did for my shea butter is 14 grams. My palm oil is 20 grams. My coconut oil is 16 grams. So for you, your first oil should be around 150 grams. Around 150 grams. So if what you have shea butter, right? Shea butter type 150 in your shea butter. Then your olive oil do maybe 140.
67.
And let's see what your total batch will be. Because you're producing 2 soaps, 4 soaps actually within yourselves. One plain one, one layered one.
shall we times it by 4 or 5?
It is also point 6,
No. This one is 146. Point 67. Yes. That is, yeah, but they.
I hope that we'll have enough oils to go around.
Yes, that's correct.
we write.
Please don't forget to document, please.
Okay, then no.
Yeah, it's just a little bit differences, 2 grams.
Okay. Should give us lye and liquid.
Yeah, it's everything is here.
Sheila, our batch is
Right.
409.
409.
Lye is equal to 6.9.
You can make
I
a
put
screenshot.
150.
I think you'll be fine because this is quite big, you see, and you are putting it into those molds. So that should be okay. You get it, yeah. That should be okay. But we had to use this to check the weight. That should be enough for it. Yeah.
748.
I was just thinking, in that recipe, olive oil is more than the others.
Yes. Oranges. Deepens.
Are we on the same page?
Yeah. Water lye.
Okay, so now let me write down my recipe. So
Let's see how
it's giving you the actual measurements now.
have actually 30 milligrams difference. That's absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. It's not.
But I need to like
No, we're doing a new recipe for me. For me, no. Don't worry about
to
it.
just to learn.
Yeah.
650. Is it better? So how much the others? 117. 117, 120.
Then it comes to the
Regular
oils.
and palm and olive will be 130.
So this light compute calculator, it did the 5%.
Yeah.
It did it.
It did it because you gave it, you put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
in
it's
the
added.
beginning, we-
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
added everything. A minute, then we go from there. I want all of us to, everybody, to come to the same. So total batch yield is 12423 grams for me. You need the total batch. So write that one down
Yeah,
for your fragrance
Yeah.
as well. You've done your fragrance?
No,
Not yet.
we have fragrance in this.
Yeah. So now that we have you should have your recipe now.
Yeah.
So it's giving you the quantity of lye you measure, the quantity of water. It's giving you the oils you're going to measure as well. Now let's go and get the total batch of soap. And then we are going to feed that into, so we are going to go off here. So we are going back and then we'll go to the fragrance calculator, which is at the bottom. You select from the list your sea spray. Now, if you don't have it here, I'll tell you the reason why.
Yeah, from the beginning. We can do that.
Because it would be more easier.
Okay.
So we do 146. Huh?
Or 7. Because that one is
Yeah.
7.
I'll do banana and see.
I don't know.
You okay?
For the fragrance.
It's for the fragrance.
Don't forget to five. 4%.
Oh, we need something. Then it comes up. So if we choose maybe something from there. Lavender.
You may not know, those are essential oils. Let's use fragrance oils.
Okay.
The thing is, this fragrance oil, this one is not in their list. So you may not find it in their list. But I'm sure most of the fragrance oils in here will be in their list. So let's look for a fragrance oil that is in their list. And then let's key that in. And then you put in the weight of the total weight of your soap as well. And then you say measure in grams. It will measure it for you. Then when you go to the next, I don't know if anybody's at the next bit. It's showing you if you want light scented, the ounces the grams you're going to use. If you want medium scented, or if you want a strong scented soap, then for me, what I entered, I'm looking at 7.45.
Should we do the first one?
And total soap.
Down. 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2. Easy for that,
Yeah,
for the lion.
lye, only the lye and water.
Complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the water.
Oils will be okay. Okay, now where we can go for the fragrance? In this?
There. Oh, the fragrance. Did you find it? No.
No.
You've not done it. Go to the fragrance calculator. You've done that. When you hit on it,
Okay.
hit on the fragrance calculator. I'll go back again. You hit on the fragrance calculator. When you scroll down, it has type. You've seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. No.
I've also got one, but you cannot find this fragrance on their. It
Or we
doesn't.
are like doing the essential oils, so we need to, how much we put in this soap?
Essential oils. Then it means that you have to. They can only do one fragrance oil at a time.
We will do one.
Yeah. So what is it called? What is your fragrance oil called?
What,
Mine is essential is geranium, rose, and frankincense.
So which one do you want to use, rose or frankincense?
Rose.
So if you type rose, because it's asking you to select, type rose and let's see if they have that in there. They have dewy rose fragrance oils because or fairy tale rose fragrance oils, whatever, but yours just says rose. If you submit it, whatever fragrance oil it is, when you type it in, then you submit it, then it will take you to the next page. The next page will ask you, what are you making? So either you're making a candle, shampoos, whatever you're making, but we are doing cold processed soap. So you select cold processed soap. Underneath it is asking you, how much are you making? So that is where you put your total weight of soap there. Then at the next line is asking you if you're measuring in ounces or grams. We are measuring in grams, so we stick to grams throughout. So you select grams, then you submit it. When you submit it, it will give you the measurements. The next page gives you the measurements, whether you want light scented, medium scented, or strong scented. So based on the scent you're going for, you pick that number. So if you want a very strong scented soap, then you select it. If you want a medium scented soap, then you select whatever is giving you.
lights and how strong we have?
That one is 10 milliliters.
So that will not be enough.
We have to be.
Okay, so you have to convert the milliliters to grams
Yeah.
because you're working in grams. You get it?
So we will weight it in grams.
In grams.
Yeah, we
But-
will wait on the.
Okay, you keep
Yeah.
weighing.
Huh?
That makes sense, isn't it? I don't think my. I'm going to try and start with mine now. Great. If anybody is ready, you can. My scale is playing up, so I hope that is going to allow me to work. I'm using banana fragrance. If anybody is watching us, or if you happen to see this, you can, for my recipe, let me just read out my recipe. This is what we had based on the calculator we used, the Lyle calculator we used. So I'd like to give credit to Brambleberry because we used their Lyle calculator. So what the Lyle calculator actually does is it gives you the exact quantities you need to make your soap. When you're doing cold processed soap, measurement is the most important part of the soap. You miss one measurement, your soap is messed up. So to be able to do that, always make sure that you use your Lyle calculator. And how we've gone about it, I will do a detailed video on that. But in this class, how we've gone about it is to just to go to Brambleberry Lyle calculator. Just Google it. Brambleberry Lyle calculator. It's going to come up. Then you select the Lao calculator. It will take you to that page. It will ask you what type of soap you're making, whether you're making liquid or solid soap. You select the solid soap, and then the next page, it takes you to the oils. So at this point, you decide what type of oils or what type of properties of soap you're going for. When I did my own, before I did my own recipe, I had gone for palm oil, coconut oil. So I got for palm oil, coconut oil, and I think my last one was shea butter. So these are the three oils I'm looking at. All these soap have hardness in it. So in the end, I'm dead sure I'm going to have a very hard soap because all of them have the property of hardness. Coconut oil has the property of moisture, so definitely my soap will have moisture in it. Shea butter also has moisture in it. Coconut oil gives bigger lads, bigger bubbles, so I'll have a lot of bubbles in it. Both of that, I can get those properties in that soap. So definitely, I know that I'm going to produce a very good soap. With that in mind, when you go to your Lao calculator, you decide based on the total batch of soap what the quantities you want for each oil is. So you're going to feed the Lao calculator with your quantities, and then the Lao calculator will give you the exact quantities you would need for your soap, as well as the water you would need for your soap. So what we have done is, because we are looking at filling up one of these molds, they come in different sizes. So we have just gone for a rough estimate, just filled this tap with water, and we've put it on the scale, and we're able to find out what this weight will be. And then we had converted this weight into oils. So if you're breaking this weight up into 3 different oils, let's say if the total weight for this is 60 grams, just guessing, let's say 60 grams, and I'm using 3 different oils, I will determine the quantity of palm oil I want. So if I want palm oil up to this level, olive oil up to this level, and the rest filling up, it means that for 60 grams, I'm going to be filling a palm oil 20, coconut oil 20, shea butter 20. When we put all the oils together, it comes to a total of roughly 60 grams. But don't forget that your water, which you would use as your Lao carrier, will be part of it. So that's also going to add some added weight as you mix. But when you are curing your soap, curing is when you're leaving your soap to rest and dry and all of that, that water, the soap is going to lose the water weight over time. So then you're going to come back to the original 60 grams. I hope I'm making sense, because in the end, the water bit is going to evaporate as the soap is left to cure. So basically, that is what we've done. So when you feed the Lao calculator with your grams, it's going to pull out the quantity of lye you have to use and the quantity of water you have to use in your mixture. So at the minute, I'm going to zero I have my empty jug on my scale. I've zeroed my scale. I selected, I'm going for grams. I hope that pardon me, my scale is playing up. I may have to change it and use someone else's. Can I try, please? It looks like we'll have to replace all the scales again. Okay, so it's giving me 0, and it selected my unit as grams for me. So I'm going to get my lye. Okay, and I'm going to pour 12. Mine says 12.12 grams. So can we do it together? If you have your scale, you can do it, and then you can pour in 12.12 grams. Don't forget, you have to put on.
Could you use the
Your,
scale?
First proceed then.
Yeah, I want to wait my blood.
what I see is giving me 13. I don't want 13, I want 12.12. My scale does not give me 12.12. It doesn't have the points. This digital scale doesn't give the points.
Just a little bit more to the front. Like extra.
So I would want us to mix lye water first and set it aside. The reason is it gets very hot very quickly. So once that cools down, we'll be working on the oils while that cools down. For some reason, my scale, I hope we get the measurements right, because as it was sitting on, it was 13, now it's gone to 14. I've not touched it, I've not done anything to it. I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to just scoop some.
So we cannot put water into it.
No, of course.
Yeah, so
I want to work with it.
61.
weight it in this and water in this. Huh?
Okay? So please, it's always lye into water and no water into lye.
It is better to water. We put water here. We just need to measure that one. And it's how much it is to be.
How big my line and the liquid is 200.
They write liquid in water.
Okay? Now I'm going to set my lye on the side. Please always remember you would need your safety gadgets. Everybody has theirs in the class. Can we put the goggles on, please?
Oh, yes.
I think we totally forgot. I have that, but I have to put it back on. Yeah.
The hole so big, so it will be wet.
Yeah, but because that one is start to bubble in it, it's better that way.
You say around and
It is not hard, it is cold process.
Yeah, it's hot process, but that one is going to be high temperature.
I don't know.
You don't know, but it's like that.
This one.
No, like we have to do the blender, okay? And it
thank you. Yes.
is better for me.
So my water is 27.11 grams. I don't know, this scale doesn't catch the points. So
Water in that.
27. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. 27. I only need 27. Are we going to do a lot of soap though? Mine looks like it's going to be very small soap.
Yeah, mine now, it's
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get some of the water out because I just need 27 and put it back on.
Listen. Okay, do what you want to do.
No,
Is it okay? Is everything going on all right on that
no,
table?
I was saying that we put water in it.
Yeah.
I
and
think
then
his
we put
water
the
is
lye.
better.
She said in the week, I said no, it's
No.
for the oil.
Wait, yeah. Put your lye here.
Yes.
I did it.
Yes.
Put your water here.
Yeah,
That one will be for your oil.
yeah. That's what
So,
I know.
yeah.
You do the zero thing. It is zero.
so. The water is 138.
It looks like my soap is going to be very tiny.
Duplicate it.
No,
You can't duplicate.
no, because I don't want to do too much. I'm just doing a sample for you to see. Or should I? If not, then I'm going to have to double my measurements. Yeah, maybe like you're saying, double it
Yeah.
or make it 3.
No, it doesn't work. You must wait. Yeah.
good. I like that, something like that. I'm going to have to double mine. Times 3, 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 times 3.
Just look very
Okay, so
near, but it's because yes.
Yes.
Sini, is your table okay?
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay.
64. 64. Oh.
81.33, 90. Okay, you can start measuring your oils now if you're ready.
One scale for.
One scale for that.
Yeah, for
Okay, let me quickly do mine and then I'll give it back to you. So my water now is, oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Water 81.33.
you're doing for like 40. Unless we can hire someone and pregnancy.
Scale. Can you imagine my scale is not ticking? My scale.
Altogether, it's strange.
So 28 is the medium, and I think 19 is the, is the first one.
Can I have some more caustic soda? I think that one is finished.
We can start the oil. Yeah, but we need the scale.
And we need to measure computers.
Do you want to put the after
36.3, 36, 36, 36, 36, 36, 36, 33, 36, 36. Okay, yeah, I'm done now. Okay, so we are yet to mix. I'll put my oils on the side so that you can see me. If anybody wants that, you can have it. And then, so we have our lye and our water now. We are going to be mixing in a minute, and then I'll talk about the changes that we see. Is anybody ready to mix the lye? Can we mix the lye now? Water, your water and your lye on the side. You are either mixing with a plastic spoon, a stainless steel, or a spoon. Somebody remind me of that name again. Silicone. A silicone spoon. So it's either a silicone spoon, a plastic spoon, or with a stainless steel. And the reason why is if your spoon is aluminum or iron, it's going to react with your lye. We don't want that. So the only things that do not react with the lye is it has to be a plastic spoon. It has to be a stainless steel. So stainless steel, you see it written on it. Or it also has to be a silicone spoon to mix it, okay? And it's always your caustic soda, which is here in your water, and you do it gently, okay? And you make sure that everything goes into it. Now, always remember, you have to be protected. So long sleeves, gloves, your goggles, and you make sure that your foot are also fully covered. So I'm going to gently pour my lye into the water, and I'll stir it. Now you see that the water is going cloudy as you stir it. This tells you that the caustic soda is very active, and it's very active for the soap. So one way to know if your caustic soda isn't active is you will not see the cloudiness in your soap as you're seeing now. Now you make sure that every little bit of your caustic soda ends up in the water. So you keep stirring it until everything is dissolved, and then you leave it to rest. You realize that when you touch your glass bowls, now this is where you have to put on a nose mask, because as the thing gets hotter, it emits gases, and I nearly got choked on.
Can we put all the oils in place or not?
Yeah, you can put all the oils if you're sure of what you're doing. If not, you can just measure them separately. But so it means that you measure your first oil, you zero it, and then you measure the next oil, you zero it, and then you measure your... Yeah, you can use the bigger bowl.
1.7.
I think maybe we need a bigger one. Is it too small for us? Is it?
You should see our studio now. It looks like a science lab. Can we have some pictures taken, please, for...
Okay.
So you try and stir it up till everything has dissolved, then you can leave it. Now, if you touch your glass, you see that it's very warm. This tells you that the caustic soda is active. So you stir it until everything is dissolved, and then you leave it to cool whilst we quickly warm our oil. So you put your oils and your butters together. Like somebody was asking me, can you put everything in one bowl? Yes, you can. So as you weigh it, if it's palm oil you're weighing first, you weigh it in your bowl on your scale. Whatever weight you get, when you get it, you leave it on the scale like that. You zero your scale again, then you weigh the next oil, leave it, zero it, and then you weigh your third oil, and basically that is it. Then you go and warm it, and then you bring it here. So you're nearly there with... I think I'm almost there now. Okay. I'm going to leave this on the side. It doesn't look like everything is dissolved yet. Still got a long way to go, I guess.
We need to microwave this? Or
Yeah, to melt it. I hope so. I hope it will fit in the microwave if it's not too long. That's my worry now.
shea butter as well.
I'm going to quickly wash my spoon.
Yeah, but I can do it in one
Then we do.
it means that you need to wash after that one. So anyway, we can do it in one. We don't need to do it in because I can.
Yeah, you can measure it. I was. Maybe you can.
So I'm going to start measuring my oils, palm oil. Can we get another type of palm oil and another type of coconut oil? You got it, you're done. Okay, what's this one? You're sure?
Yes.
You're okay, palm oil.
Yes.
And then coconut oil. And so I'll do my palm oil. Okay. So my palm oil says 90 grams. It's very warm in here, so it's already melting. 90. Thank you.
I think we can add the coconut oil and then
This way we start mixing after that.
Yeah,
is it
no,
both
put
of
it,
them?
oh yeah, all of that. So I'm going to zero it again. And then I'll do it for my coconut oil, says 75. I'm going to zero it again. Let me take this out of the way. And then I'll do it for my shea butter. Shea butter. Thank you. That says 90 as well. So we've got all our oils measured out. I'm going to wait to melt my oils now. Before then, I'm going to wash these. This is good. This one. Oh, yes. when we go into the practical bits of soap, what do you think? Aside talking and always picturing it, now you're doing it yourself. It brings a better understanding, doesn't it? At least now you can use the soap making calculator to do your own recipes. And I'll be happy for you to bring different types of oils. Basically here, the oils we have are, I think, all the ones we've worked with. We also have almond oils and the other ones, but because almond oil is very expensive, I would not like us to use it for soap. So if you have other interesting oils at home, please bring it next week. And can we check the temperature for both? Let's not leave the spoon inside. You know that temperature, that one, I'm not too sure of.
I have another, I put
Jug.
my, gun.
Yeah, you have it?
Yes.
Okay, let's use that one then. So we are looking at 30, yes. So you can use the gun. Sheena. Oh yes, look, she has one. Okay, my live water says 39. So we're going to leave it to still cool whilst we do this. Somebody was asking, I think a question had come up. Oh, it's actually reading. It's still, yeah.
I said that it is not dissolving if I did the wrong measurement or what?
Just put in
It's not dissolving.
Yeah.
It should dissolve.
Your dissolved?
and now we give it temperature.
So you have to keep stirring till it dissolves.
Can you see? Yeah.
Be stirring, yeah, till it dissolves. What's the temperature for your? Very hot. And what about your oil?
In the microwave.
Yeah. So 2 ways is either we put it in a cold bath if we want to work early to bring it down, but you have to keep an eye on it because we need the oils to be around 40, this 35. Mine, this one says 40.7 for mine, but I've not done this yet. So by the time I finish doing this, I'll have, yes, but it has to be 5 degrees difference. Yeah. So if you think it's too hot, we can do a cold water bath and put it in. Or, yeah. So I think somebody had also asked, I think a lot of gases here. Somebody has also asked if your live water is cold and you want to bring it up in temperature. Don't put it in the microwave, no. Don't put it on the stove or anything, no. Just do hot water bath and put it in and let it bring the temperature back up. Basically, so the opposite of
What is the recommended temperature to live?
25 degrees Celsius for live,
Okay.
oils 40 degrees.
Yes, okay, but 20, 24 you said, 25.
25.
Yes.
And the oil?
40. I think there's a lot of gases in the air. Is it reading?
Yeah.
Or you can use this one.
This one?
This one is good.
No.
Oh, use this one then.
This one is good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. If it's good, then that's it. Careful. so you don't splash anything on your. Mhm.
Why is mine is compared to the other, the line underwater?
It's not dissolving.
No, dissolving, but the amount is this compared to the.
Yeah, that's a good question, because all the oils turn soap at a different percentage. That is called the sub value. The sub value is the point where that oil begins to turn to soap, and you get it differently because people have done different combinations. You remember? So because you've used different oils, if they have more
More
oil
Oh,
or more water, it means that the combinations they did, they will need more lye water to turn it to soap. It makes sense.
Our thick one, the shea butter and the coconut.
Yeah, so you have a lot of water as well.
That's what I was worrying about that.
Yeah, but remember, you have just two types of oils.
Yeah.
Two types of
Yeah.
they have three types.
Yeah, because of
Just
the
so
amount we have.
yeah, and that's a good thing. So we'll see if this quantity can turn that into soap, and it will definitely do it because the lye calculator will not lie. But you had to, so that gives us an idea.
Yeah.
You see, that was why I wanted us all to do different.
We do it again?
But you can see that yes, they have a lot of.
Yeah.
I think for all the groups, they have more lye water than everyone else.
Yeah, they need more time to dissolve it.
Yeah.
Should I doubt if I did wrong or something?
Huh? You did.
If the lye is not dissolving, it is more than water or what?
No, keep stirring. You should be able to dissolve.
Because in the beginning you have to.
I am.
You have to do it like bit by bit. It has to dissolve. All of mine is dissolved. All of theirs is dissolved. So when you do it gently, a little bit, it should dissolve. I think the next bit is we may have to move to a plug, unless your thing will be able to come to you. If not, that's a downside of the whole thing. I should have brought a socket that will bring everything to the table. Then we work from. Taking just the hands.
Yes.
Good. Videos or just pictures?
Pictures. Do you want me to?
Please, yeah. Some videos, some pictures. We'll put it together as a reel. Take the videos, portrait, not landscape.
Okay.
Short,
Okay.
at every step, and then we'll put. I'm waiting to melt my oil. Is it dissolving? But you are getting there, isn't it? You can see that gradually some is dissolving. It's not the same as it was before. Yeah. Very hot. It's not hot.
Not very hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Have you checked the temperature?
34.
34.
Yeah, 34. 35. 45.
45.
This one is 45. This one is.
Why are we reading it?
41. I think this one is not correct.
Which one? It's reading in Fahrenheit, so then we have to convert it to degrees Celsius.
You might change it in back.
Yeah. Let's get tissue to clean it first. You can. But the one I had was. That's the same one I did. Yeah. Good.
I prefer this one.
You prefer that? Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. It's 35.9. So any moment you have to be mixing it up now. You get it? If you have a difference of 5,
This is the oil. 45, but we need to put it to 40.
Can we make another solution with that one or we skip it to?
no, just the same.
I think it's not dissolving, maybe.
It's not dissolving. Why?
I don't know.
It has to.
Going down, but.
It's the same lye we all used, isn't it?
Yeah, but maybe I measured.
Just dissolved
Yeah, so I say that maybe I measured.
wrongly, water wrongly.
Yeah, so it will be more light.
So more lye and more water.
So I need
You want to do it again?
again, so.
Let's pour it in the drain. I don't think it will spoil anything, or rather clean the drain. Let's pour it out and do it again.
Just compare.
And be sure of your measurements. So you want to. Mine is dissolved, isn't it?
Do you have a little bit? I
My-
think it's similar.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe
Let's
take
do
a
it
look.
again then, and let's see what's happening.
Yes.
No, let's see yours.
I think it's already dissolved.
Oh, it's too much lye, not dissolved. Let's measure it again then.
I want to measure that. This is empty for what?
Yes. It's an oil.
I need, can I
Heat
wash
it.
it
Yeah,
now?
yeah. Cold water. I don't want mine. Mine is getting cold. 37, 33, 34, 34.7, 35. Six point three.
Can you check on the recipe again?
Make sure your scale is reading right, because I think one of the scales was not that good. So make sure your scale is reading all right, and be careful with the measurements as well.
It's cooling down.
Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah,
How much will be approximately your light, what you use?
No, for every oil it is different.
Every oil is different.
Yeah. The total amount 49, the lye, 36 grams.
Other scale.
Yeah, you have, they have 65 grams light.
No, other scale of your.
And the water is 145.
Each. Means each. Yeah, because you use more than one oil.
This scale is okay. This scale, huh?
Because my lye is cooling very fast, so I want to bring my oils down.
It will be okay?
Yes.
Zero.
This is water 159. It's going to be a bit.
Yeah, because my lye is cooling down.
Yeah.
So I need to get the oil to cool down a little bit more.
41.
It's almost.
30, 33.
We are little bit step by step, not all together.
Yeah, little bit, not all together, little bit, stirring them in.
Now stay here and just
Stir.
It has some
that's fine.
What's your lye temperature now?
32.
32. What about the oil?
I think 47.
47, too hot. You may have to do hot water and put, because it's cooling. You get it?
This one as well?
Yeah, do hot water and let it sit in because it's cooling down.
Yeah.
So maybe get in the microwave.
Do
Oh, there's hot water there. Okay. Mine is cooling down as well, but it's been sitting for quite some time now.
For next time, we melted the
Oil first.
then we
Yeah, because
that
because we are waiting to use the microwave
Yeah.
intense.
yeah.
Yes. So tomorrow is the first for the two of you are not coming for the first. Eighth. Anybody coming for the first photograph workshop tomorrow?
Me,
You.
but where is supposed to be that one? You need to tell me the
I'll tell you.
address.
Castle Cavendish. I'll send you the address. I'll give you the address before.
It's not here.
It's not here. You come to City Center. You're coming from Derby
Yeah.
to City Center.
Yeah.
From City Center, you pick bus 26 or 28. I've forgotten a little bit. It brings you to Faraday Road. You pick that one in front of TK Maxx. You know TK Maxx? Yeah. That bus will bring you to Faraday Road, but I have to be sure. I'll ask somebody very soon. Either 26 or 28. You get to Faraday bus stop, get down.
28.
It's 28.
Pink line.
Pink line,
Yes.
28. So TK Maxx, Pink line, 28 to Faraday bus stop. When you get to the Faraday bus stop, get down. I give you, it's very short from there, from Google Map.
Yeah.
So use Google Map to find it.
28, go to the Victoria, and 77, 79, go to the Victoria.
Yeah, when she's going back, 77, 79. Do they come to Faraday bus stop from there?
She's still not this much. Is it?
What's your yeah?
I'm not quite, we are not quite sure.
It's not dissolving.
Dissolving.
Don't worry, we'll do it and we'll see.
You see, still has some.
Still have some there. Did you do your measurements right? It's yours dissolving. Yours is not dissolved.
Yeah, it's again like that.
It's again like that.
Like I measured it again according to the recipe the calculator gave me.
We'll use it, let's see. But keep stirring, dissolve as many as you can. We'll just pour it without, so we'll sieve it. But try and mix it in as much as possible. I'm nearly there though. I think I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. I'm going to bring my bag out now. Yeah, mix it now. 5 teaspoons, yeah. Then you can do it. Mine is done as well.
For example, you make a cake, people together, they don't know how to know, as long as like cooking, when you make a cake,
35. Okay, we are there. Anybody ready to go on the journey? So, but I want to do it mine on the camera and then before I go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour my soap on the on the shaft of my spoon, and you see that as you do that it begins to change color. Maybe do some. As we do it some more, it's going to thicken. It's beginning to thicken now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to, I'm going to come there now and I'll do it. If we all come here, because they've done it, let's come here and see the trace. Yeah. You know what you're gonna have. Yeah. And it's difficult to get them out. So the first thing to do is one, you put it like that. Tap, 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 to make sure you're not creating more air bubbles. Okay. So it's beginning to, now from emulsification, we are going to solidification now. So it's that is so bad, it has a lot of air bubbles in it. So this is thin trace. You can pour it like this, it's soap. Let's do some more. I told you because you're going to add color to it. I want it to be at now yours is thick trace now. Put it in mold. Put it quick. It's getting thick. So that is thick trace.
All of them or
Half of it.
you will take that.
So she'll do one for herself, one will bring it back, or just do only one, and then we add color and fragrance.
Exactly.
Can I have some tissue now? I think I'm going to pour my stairs back now. I'm going to do some more. Can you see some drawings for me?
You will take that.
You see it? That's thin trace. Okay. So I'm just going to, can I get mold and rubbing alcohol, please? I don't do a lot. You can still see some drawings if I draw. You can see traces there. Can you see thin traces? You see it? If I go again, I'm going to go to medium trace. I don't know if I should add my fragrance now. If I can do 2 batches, I'll do it. It looks like mascara.
تكتبها هيك دير شرط نير دوكي تكتبها بس يخون انت وزن كاين وزن شو وزنك كاين تدير رانك كاش وزنك كاين
fragrance to this one. Yeah. I've got my camera here. You take the video. The live video is what I'm thinking of bringing here now.
Shall we add the fragrance?
Yeah, fragrance.
Too thick. Is that okay?
Very thick.
Yeah.
Still add the fragrance. It means that
You can
add it.
color maybe.
Yeah, and mix it with a spoon. Don't, yeah. And then, so I would love you to see what I have done. I'm going to take you over to my, I want to add some color and some fragrance to it. I'm going to take you to my work table, and then you see what I've done with, pardon me. Okay, so this is what I have done. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, I've had to come here because I needed the plug to work the rest of the soap. So what we have now, the soap is a thin trace. Actually, the soap is a thin trace. You can see it is like the butter for your, like it looks like custard. Somebody has said it looks like custard. That's a perfect example. It looks like your cake butter. It also looks like your pancake butter. So what I'm going to do now is mix in some colors. I don't want to do too much, but basically the ratio of colors is 2:1. So if I'm taking 1 spoon of this, I'm going to be taking 2 spoons of the oil to mix it up, and then I put it here. But I'm not going to take too much because, as you can see, I've not done too big a batch. So I'm just going to eyeball it. Take just a little. Maybe that is even too much. Yeah. And then get some oil. Just eyeball it as well. But basically, the ratio is 2:1, like I said. That should be enough. This is just to mix in. As you can see, what I'm doing is just to mix in your colors, get all the lumps out before we put it in here. Okay, so I'm going to put that now into my soap and just mix it up, because at this point it's beginning to thicken up and I don't want to thicken too much. You know what I'm seeing? I even like it like a marbled effect. Do you see it? Look here.
Yeah.
So I'm not really mixing it. I like what I'm seeing, so I'll leave it as a marbled effect. Hopefully when I put in my fragrance oil. So we've also measured the fragrance oil, but at this point, because I've poured out some of the soap, I'm just also going to eyeball it. But your Lao calculator gives you the exact measurement you would need for your fragrance oil. Can I get another bowl to just
Bowl.
yeah, like the white ones, yeah, to measure out my fragrance oil. So it's entirely up to you how strong you want it, but the Lao calculator gave us that. Now, some of the fragrance oils accelerate trace, so you have to be careful when you're doing it if you've never worked with it before. You know what I want to do? I'm going to split this batch into 2 after I've put in. It smells like banana, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more color so that I can do the layering here, and I hope I'll be able to do it. Can I get 2 spoons, 2 big spoons, and I'll still need the color you just took away. So I have a lighter color shade of green and a darker shade of green. So as we can see here, I'm going to split my batches into 2, and then we'll see if we can do layering with this particular. I like the green. That green really looks very soft. You know the green I mixed, the bowl.
I think it's that
No,
one.
the bowl, the one I had mixed already.
Yeah, I put
Yeah.
it in,
Yeah.
you want it.
Yeah, I want that.
Here you are.
I like that. Great. So I'll put 2 batches. I want to split it up. Make one deeper green. So that's a stronger green. And I'm going to try and do a layering effect. It would actually be good to have a third color, but that's enough. We'll just do these 2. Hopefully we can see. So if I get 2 spoons, that would help, so that I'm not mixing up. So I just keep 1 spoon for this and the other one for that. Yeah, thank you.
Then you one more.
I've got it here.
You got it?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see me well, but I think that it will be better in another video. Okay. Can we film this?
بيخسري خشكم بيخسري بيخسري دوران تجاوزه ما فكر نعم دوران تاخذ الكرهندة دوران طن
Try to get all the soap out.
yok çarşıya böyle bir başık paylaşken we can melt it again in the microwave as yeah دقيقة
So basically just doing a swirl. I'm going to bring it up so that you can see exactly what I'm doing here. So like a marbled effect, and this is really, really beautiful. So I'm just going to fill the remaining soap into one other. That may not be a lot of soup, but at least we'll still get us some soup.
After that.
I'm going to scoop everything into it.
I'm not sure that. Do what you think, but I'm not. Do it what you think, but I'm not sure that is something like that.
I'm going to try to spread it over.
I can't understand what you want to do.
You do this thing.
Great. So it's time to clean up, and then basically we are done. it. So basically that is it for our live soap making class today. If you joined us, we're going to unmold this after 3 days. We'll take it out of the mold and let it set. So we are going to have to let it set for the next 3 days. Leave it in the mold for it to set for 3 days, and then let it air for 4 to 6 weeks before you can use it. At this point, because you had used lye, it's very, very harsh on the skin. So you cannot use it until 4 to 6 weeks. And the reason why you would have to leave it for 4 to 6 weeks is so that the soap does not become harsh. This is soap all right. Once it is dried and hardened up, it's soap, but it's a harsh soap which cannot be used immediately. Can only be used after 4 weeks, and better used when it's 6 weeks. So I'm going to have to love and leave you because it's been a long while here on live, and hopefully catch you again in our next class, where we'll be doing a different technique to soap making, and we'll be unmolding this particular soap as well. If you liked it, please don't forget to share the live. Don't forget to talk to other people about Skilled Hands as well. And please remember to leave us a comment in the comment section, as we are really enjoying you joining us. Thank you very much for all the love, the thank yous, the congratulations. Thank you very much, Titus, for joining us today. Thank you, everyone. We're going to love and leave you, and hopefully catch you again in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.